Selected excerpts from the works of Vinson Ballard, Strategies Towards Many Good Days to Come. Introduction. Word art considerations for willing participant involvement. Copyrights 2021 by Vinson Ballard. Regarding today's challenging times, this is a strategy system of adapting and adjusting made available for youth, adults, families, communities, schools, job environments, organizational unity, and togetherness for a better tomorrow. This strategy system speaks to an opportunity for the willing participant to use a higher priority plan of action that is well grounded in civilized cultural sensitivity and human decency with respect to the individuals of the Black experience or Black folks and wiser survival strategies. A strategy system of adapting and adjusting. Strategy system listings. THDMOCCI, TGMG ASCOHD, Conversation, Diversity, Nuke AUNT space NUK, Resource Availability in Divinity and Consciousness, Space Considerations, Humanitarian Contribution, Harmonious Balance, Quality. G. Reality, Civilized Cultural, and Crime Prevention. THDMOCCI, the Demokai, 6 consonants, 2 vowels. 13 areas of diversity, the choice of opportunities, individual diversity, resiliency, and knowing yourself, resiliency in you and I. 6 Ds, Valley Dynamics Diversity, some 6 Ds reflection, diversity decision duties, space considerations, TGMG ACSOHD, crime prevention as an acronym. Questions towards healing. Could this word art publication be a helpful resource? Is it fitting to adjust or adapt to some of the modern day ills of today's realities with different approaches? Is there room for improvement? Do all of the answers come from only those individuals who are accepted within society's elites or haves? Is it possible that helpful approaches or strategies may be reached within an individual using their relative skill set, divinity, and wiser organizational unity knowledge to assist and sincerity? Are the 13 areas of diversity important to the healing potential of the 6 consonants and 2 vowels strategy? Why is one's diversity decision duties important to survival? Could the 6 Ds, domain, diversity, divine dedication, decision duties, be relative? Why is individual diversity, resiliency, and knowing yourself so important? Are there diversity, equity, superlative examples that could give basic foundation for survival? Why could the thought of diversity, resiliency, and you and I be important to organizational unity or togetherness? Could TGMG, ASCOHD, the golden mean, golden age continuation strategy of human decency, be important to possible healing? Should crime prevention strategies be important to possible healing and survival realities? Could a divine conversation exist within a publication? Conversation as an acronym. C, committing. O, our. N, necessary. V, vision. E, involving. R, reality. S, spirituality. A, and. T, taking. I, it. O, on. N, nutritiously, necessarily, naturally. Committing, our, necessary, vision, evolving, reality, spirituality, and taking it on nutritiously, necessarily, naturally. The acronym part, committing, our, refers to decision to dedicate togetherness. Necessary, vision, refers to focus within divinity. Evolving, reality, refers to progression, growth in what is actually going on. Spirituality, and, refers to highest level within the domains. And taking refers to participating. It refers to what is before or present, facing, confronting, opportunity to bless. On has to do with, well, it on, nutritiously, necessarily, and naturally has to do with a divine creation or being having a divine human experience. And this all is relative to the acronym conversation, committing, our, necessary, vision, evolving, realities, spirituality, and taking it on nutritiously, necessarily, and naturally. THDMOCCI, 6 consonants and 2 vowels. The healing diversity mechanism of civilized cultural information. Again, the healing diversity mechanism of civilized cultural information. 6 consonants and 2 vowels. THDMOCCI, pronounced the Demokai. Copyrights 2021 by Vinson Ballard. This is a spiral of the Demokai and you can see the meaning of it, the healing diversity mechanism of civilized cultural information. This is another spiral, but it deals with the definition of it in THDMOCCI, 6 consonants, 2 vowels, and it says a strategy that consists of specific oneness or individuality to make better differences within and or more than existing uniquely through an approach as within a system from harmonious balanced values, traditions, beliefs within facts about individuality, individually and collectively, that is available on a case-by-case basis for the willing participant. This is another spiral, and it says 6 consonants, 2 vowels, THDMOCCI, an alternative strategy for individuals to use on a case-by-case basis towards coexisting together in as a wiser way as possible. Individually has a choice and opportunity to do this as best as possible. And this is word art picture of diversity. Diversity, acknowledgement of individual uniqueness and the collective interactiveness. This is a spiral of the 13 aspects of diversity about authenticity, connectiveness, consideration, divinity, equity, focusedness, harmony, impact, longevity, resiliency, togetherness within. And of course, these are the 13 aspects of diversity. This is the diversity, equity, superlative examples. Again, diversity, equity, superlative examples. 1, the universal domains. 1, minerals. 2, plants. 3, animals. 4, humans. 5, spirituality. 2, the historical rainforest indicators and the foothill of the mountain of the moon. 3, the Twa people. 4, the human beings, mind, body, and soul. And 5, connection, the connection of working together. And 6, and final, Mayat, truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, harmony, and order. And this is a spiral of the choice of opportunities within individual diversity. 24 hours to work on it. Every day is a day that won't ever be seen again. So get busy in your goodness. Every day is an opportunity to connect with the good of the universe in our own space. We individually have an opportunity to connect within our human decency, to share our goodness during our day. This spiral is individual diversity, resiliency, and knowing yourself. Individual diversity, resiliency, and knowing yourself. Number 1, knowing your adjustment, adaptation. 2, knowing your realities of your resource, positioning. Number 3, knowing your connection to your divinity, evolvement. Number 4, knowing your civilized cultural information. And number 5, knowing your harmonious, balanced models of survival. Ain't Nuke, a united, nutritious testimony naturally unites kindness. A nuke is an acronym that stands for the words 1A, 2, united, 3, nutritious, 4, testimony, 5, naturally, 6, unites, 7, kindness. It consists of 4 consonants and 3 vowels. It is further based on the concept of an individual being a divine being and a divine creation having a divine human experience. It is named in honor of humanitarian, the Honorable Mrs. Fanny Ballard Henley. The 6 D's, open parenthesis, domain, diversity, divine dedication, decision, duties, closed parenthesis, speaks to an individual having an opportunity to use the lifetime within their space consideration as their wisest resource available within divinity and consciousness for the best results. This is another spiral relative to individuals coexisting. 1, the 6 D's. 2, reflections. 3, space views. 4, resource views. 5, valley dynamics. 6, decision duties. Six D's, domain, diversity, divine dedication, decision duties. And these again are the 6 D's. Some 6 D's reflections. 1, Richard Allen's family humble beginnings and humanitarian works, as with the earlier publication in or about 1793 and the Underground Railroad. Number 2, Mama Kelly, Frozen Jordan, and her family's coexistence within America, South Carolina, the Mississippi Territory, Mississippi. This is not mentioned. Number 3, the community work of Dr. Theodore Roosevelt Mason Howard, Sergeant George Washington Brown, Reverend George Washington Lee is not acknowledged. Number 4, Minister Malcolm X's sister, awesome commitment and humanitarian contributions, Mother Sister Ella Little Collins. And number 5, Dr. King's mother and brother is not acknowledged relative to their sacrificed lives. This is another spiral. This is relative to space considerations. Individual space considerations, collective space considerations, togetherness space considerations, youth student space consideration, adult wisdom space consideration, uniqueness, undisputed space consideration, civilized cultural information, and the last is relative to human decency. Resource availability and divinity and consciousness. Credibility, reputation, skill set, influence within or about one's space. Resource, answers within divinity, Mayat, Akamba Ak, center oneself, Sekam Shem Ra, circular divine energy within. And lastly, meditation, prayer, communication attempts within divinity. Resource availability. And all of these has to do with resource availability. Resource availability, readiness towards participation, assurance, favorable confidence, awareness, alertness to happiness, acceptance, welcoming, coexistence, ascension to flow into a momentum, authenticity, approval of credibility, adaptation, adjustment, as within survival to reality. And to continue, resource Africology, the study of the continent, typically known as Africa, as a remarkable natural resource and beginning of planet Earth. Resource asset, beneficial help or assistance. Resource access, meaningful asset with availability and usability and reachability. Resource astuteness, meaningful asset with wise excellence. Resource activity, meaningful asset, momentum. Resource association, meaningful asset, interactions. Valley dynamics diversity. Number one, Twa people or tradition speaks of them coming from the mountain of the moon. Number two, ancient Kush, which is called Kosh, has one of the earliest models of harmonious balance, which was later called the golden mean. Number three, the valley and system of adjusting and adapting to reality is important to survival. Number four, the valley of pathways, with an individual being a divine creation, having a divine human experience, is very relative. Diversity decision duties to oneself, to one's focus, to one's adaptation, to one's resource survival, to one's healing and restoration, to one's civilized cultural information, to one's existence collectively to the universe. The golden mean, golden age, continuation strategy of human decency. The Golden Mean, Golden Age Continuation Strategy of Human Decency, TGMGACSOHD. TGM, the Golden Mean, speaks to a continuing, ancient, genuine connection of divine order through harmonious balance. GA Golden Age speaks to participation with respect to a connection to humanitarian contributions and its involvement and greatness of the earliest black experience. CS speaks to an available focus towards wiser survival. OHD of human decency speaks to the willing participant opportunity to coexist in divine order. And this is a view of what was just said. TGM, the Golden Mean, give you a perfect proportion of everything earlier ancient version that predates Maya. GA Golden Age, suggested by Dr. Asa Hilliard to view the contributions of black greatness as golden ages versus dynastic periods and misinformation. CS Continuation Strategy, an ongoing higher prioritized plan of action based on civilized cultural information. OHD of human decency, with respect to the acceptance of the willing participant to acknowledge and apply behavior of human decency anchored by pursuing a life of a divine human experience as a divine being and a divine creation. And here is what was just said. TGM, the Golden Mean, how divine order is relative and necessary. GA Golden Age, how acknowledging divine order produced greatness within humanitarian contributions. CS Continuation Strategies, how divine order can favorably impact a plan of action and survival. OHD of human decency, how divine order is available for an individual use, consideration, and opportunity to coexist. Realizing the lack of model strategies more favorable to the human decency of the black experience. TGMGACSOHD, the Golden Mean, Golden Age Continuation Strategy of Human Decency, makes itself available. This is pursued in such a manner where those open-minded, willing participants can have approachable mechanisms to use on a case-by-case basis when need be while making a choice to view it. The TGMGACSOHD strategy is founded on the following basics. 1. The harmonious balance ancient model of the Golden Mean. 2. The Golden Age acknowledgement of the black experience. And 3. Human decency with respect to sacred divinity. Even when there are individuals who have evolved in roles with expanded responsibility, who went to mostly black learning institutions, or may be descendants of the black experience, but for some reason they did not get genuine, accurate information regarding more favorable accounts of black survival. This is definitely a source to help with getting that information. Remember, this is from a civilized cultural perspective. TG MGACMOHD, the Golden Mean Golden Age continuation mechanism of human decency, also serves as a model or an up-to-date standard for relative individuals to use as a volunteer measuring tool for interacting with individuals of the black experience, or black folks, with respect for their continuation and honorable ancestors, honorable communities, honorable humanitarian contributions, honorable elders, honorable togetherness, and continuous opportunities for fairness and human decency within divinity to continue for those descendants who continue this legacy in divine order. And this system further counters remnants of the modern day ills that produces disorder like self-hate, hopelessness, and victimization and cultural assassination. The TGMG ACSOHD strategy was created with respect to the continuing survival of the individuals of the black experience and their need to adjust to the modern day ills such as systemic racism, misinformation, barbaric and predator-like behavior, ignorance, and the misuse of power as within resources, roles, technology, and policy influence. This is a spiral entitled Humanitarian Contributions. Number 1, honorable ancestors. Number 2, honorable elders. Number 3, families. Number 4, communities. 5, youth. 6, individuals